Hi, my name is Mark, and in today's video I'll be making the blaster for my custom Mandalorian build. Most of the parts of this build are 3D printed, and I've also 3D printed the blaster for my Din Djarin build behind me. This is a great option, but lacks the sort of heft and feel of a real blaster. It's based on the actual gun that the Mandalorian carries, but it's really lightweight and feels more like a toy. Most of the guns in the Star Wars universe are based on antique weapons from either the 1940s or earlier, and then have additional attachments added to them to make them fit the universe. My plan for this blaster is to start with a model of an old revolver and work from there. This model is fully metal, but has no components that would make it actually fire, meaning it's very safe. There's no risk of it going off, but it will be treated as a firearm from here. This model was bought very cheaply because the hammer didn't work for the previous owner. I had to take it apart to get it to work. And the hammer working is not an important feature of this build. In the Star Wars movies, they use a process known as kitbashing, where they take different pieces from either model kits or other guns and add them onto a gun to make it look like it fits. I'm going to be using a slightly different method where I build the pieces from scratch to fit my original design. This design was made on my tablet using a sketch of this gun, and I've added an additional barrel and pieces that go around it to really make it fit the Star Wars universe. So I hope you enjoy this process and follow along with me as I make this into my blaster that will fit my custom build. Thanks. Okay, so as you can see, it's got this little stubby barrel on it that's octagonal, and I want it to more resemble the barrel from the blaster from Rogue One. As you can see, it's fully round. It's got these little details right here, and the tip is a little protruding. So I have a piece of wood in the lathe right here. I'm going to turn this down to get the exact shape I want, then drill out the center so it fits on this, and hopefully it looks pretty good when it's done. Okay, so I have the hole drilled in the barrel itself now. It's a really tight fit between this and the gun. Now I need to cut a section of this so that it slides all the way down. I'm going to mark it out by hand and then do it with the Dremel and then just go back until everything is perfect. It should take 2 or 3 passes and then it will be sitting flush. There will still be some gap around this ring, which I will later fill in, but that's a later step once everything's smoothed out. So the barrel is now attached. Now the next step I have is I need to extend this grip. Since this is a mini revolver, the grip is too small. So I'm going to do that with this material called Sintra. It's a sheet plastic. It's great for heat forming, easy to cut out, easy to glue together. So it'll be perfect for this application. And I'm going to cut it out on the scroll saw. Okay, now using the same material, I'm going to be adding a detail piece that goes under the barrel. And to do that, I'm going to use this marking gauge to get the exact contours I need. So that's my next step. Okay, so it took me 3 tries to make it. But on the 3rd try, it's a pretty good fit. And it's starting to look sort of like I envisioned. There's going to need to be a lot of gap filling that I'll do back at my shop. Okay, so now I'm back in my shop. I've done a little bit of sanding on this barrel to make the new barrel fit a little better around it. And I've also gone ahead and done a couple rounds of sanding and then put a gloss black coat on this. There's still a little bit more work that needs to be done on this. It's not fully done, but it looks good. And I've also glued together and assembled the grip extension. So now the grip is a proper size. It's no longer really small. It fits my hand pretty well. So this needs to get filled in the gaps and then painted black. This is going to be attached to the real barrel using plumber's epoxy. And that's also what I'm going to use to attach the PVC piece that goes underneath it. Once this is in place, I'm going to start adding some more thickness to this and then adding more raised details. So that's my next step. Okay, so I'm mixing up plumber's epoxy right now. It's your basic 2-part epoxy, but it's more of a clay. And this I can use to sort of sculpt into some of the details and then have it bond really hard and give me a sandable surface. So this is what I'm going to use to attach the new barrel to the old barrel, as well as attach this little detail piece to both barrels. And that's just hand sculpted right now. it.